will this meeting ever end? I can't believe they're still talking. We've all been there, right? Meetings that just don't seem to end. They just keep going on and on and on, like the Energizer battery. I feel you, and I'm here to help you change it. The first step to conduct an effective project meeting is to determine if a meeting is even necessary. A lot of times we think the meeting is necessary, but perhaps a simple email or a one-on-one conversation in the aisle, or maybe even if you pick up the phone and simply talk to them on the phone, could have resolved it. But sometimes meetings do become necessary. When, for example, you're IMing and texting and it's gone over like 30, 40 different texts and nothing gets resolved. You've met them on the phone perhaps, or you're talking to them on the phone 2 or 3 times and it's not leading anywhere. In those situations, very clearly, you gotta have a meeting. You gotta meet them in person or perhaps on a video conference through video sessions like this. Now, having said that, here are 5 quick tips that I really think will be very useful for you as you conduct these meetings that make them very effective. The first tip is to plan ahead. Don't go ahead and wait until the last minute to do all the things related to the meeting. 1, set up a very good objective in the meeting. Understand why you're really meeting. Create a good agenda with proper discussion topics that are relevant and germane to the meeting. 3, ensure that the list of attendees are known up front and they understand why they're going to be there. Make sure that each one gets time allocated, or whoever needs to be present and are going to participate, have the time allocated. And share the invite ahead in advance. That way they're able to put it up in their calendar. All right? So that's my very first tip, plan ahead. The second tip is to be on time. Become a role model and you start on the time and be there on the time. Make sure you set the tone for the meeting correctly with promptness and with time boxing yourself. Ensure that your discussions remain correctly streamlined and remain on schedule with agenda. If you try to veer one way versus another, you might jeopardize the timing of your meeting. The goal must be to speak as little as necessary, but not anymore. Now, when you look at this, the third thing that you need to do is make sure time boxes or an agenda have a good action log sheet, and assign ownership for individual actionable outcomes to your stakeholders and to your individual participants. Make sure also that you'll have what I'd like to call the parking lot sheet. And in the parking lot sheet, identify and document the off-topic ideas, the off-topic subjects that come up as you go through the meeting, and discuss them towards the open session that you might have towards the end of the meeting, and address them at that point. Or perhaps they could become points to address in the next meeting. Lastly, share them all right? The minutes of the meeting. It's important for all the stakeholders that have attended and those that haven't or could not for whatever reasons to get an understanding of what transpired in the meeting. For those who did attend, this will be a reiteration of the action plan. And then ensure if you could, and see if you could schedule follow-up meetings with the participants even while you're there to understand, to find an open schedule so the next meeting that you do need is already scheduled. Also, as a facilitator, do not overwhelm yourself and do everything yourself. Try to delegate scribing and timekeeping to others in the team. Not only will you be mentoring others along the way, but you'll be able to focus on what you really need to do. Facilitate the meeting. Now, time is clearly one asset that none of us get more of. So let's make sure that we make optimum use of it. Use those 24 hours and make every meeting productive. Hope this discussion, these tips will be useful to you as you go through your meetings. And I'll meet you in our next session. Thank you.